I spent 58 minutes last night listening to Meta's third quarter earnings report. And to be open and honest, I sold Meta on June 14th for $164 a share. I totally liquidated because I felt they had some tough times in front of them. And as a result of last night's 58 minutes, and then the following 12 hours contemplating and trying to understand what I saw, I think my thumbnail tells you what I think is going to happen to Facebook. I think they have lost their way, and I'm not sure they're going to be in a position to find it back. If they survive, it will be because of the metaverse. It will not be because of their current management and their dealings relative to Facebook and Instagram. I'll talk about that in detail in this video.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
What I did last night was go to Seeking Alpha, something I think we all should be subscribed to. And I went to the third quarter review. I'll show you a little bit later how I got to it. And I'll go over some of the numbers of what I heard, but you can do that. I think what I have to add to this is a little bit different. I spent a part of my career working for a company by the name of Polaroid. Our largest competition was a company by the name of Eastman Kodak. And both of those companies no longer exist. And they don't exist because their business plan was flawed and their management didn't see it. They didn't pay attention to it. They didn't recognize that digital photography was going to replace them, and they were in a primary position to get in to take advantage of that, and they could have been thriving companies here and now today, but they didn't. And what I see in Facebook is a flawed business plan, and let me explain to you why. What Facebook is, if you'll think about it, is a way for you and your grandmother and your mother to share pictures and activities that they're involved in with their friends and family. Okay? And that's a good premise. And the platform is free, and you as the generator of the content creator, you put it up and you get what you receive back free. You get to communicate with your friends and family. Well, what Facebook then decided to do was to extend your friends and family. I remember reading back in, I believe it was about, 10, that the average Facebook user had 600 friends and family followers, and I had 100. And I thought, my goodness, I am not as popular as I thought I was. I need to get to work on building my fan base, if you will, on Facebook. And Facebook helped me with that. They suggested people for me to connect with. And now I go to my Facebook and I don't know 90% of the people that are there. But so why did Facebook do that? Because they wanted to collect more data. They were using me. Okay, they were using me to build a database so that they could sell better advertising around my feed, and they could profit. What did they give me in return? They gave me free use of the platform. But it built and it built and it built. And now with the advent of artificial intelligence, they can very accurately predict what you are going to buy and what you're interested in, and who you are in the society as a result of that. They give you nothing in return, and yet you are the content creator, okay? Now they have moved to another format in Instagram. Instagram basically started as a means for influencers to build their relationships with their audience. I think one of the best examples is Taylor Swift. I think she has more followers on Instagram than anyone else. But she was a stage personality. She was a music personality. But Taylor's management said, we have to reach deeper into these young girls who follow Taylor and give them insight into Taylor's life. And Instagram was a wonderful means to do that. In fact, I believe the number one video watched on Instagram Reels is Lady Gaga. And it's all about her tattoos. Well, how closer and more personal can you get with Lady Gaga than to see her tattoos? So that's what Instagram was all about. But then they recognized that if they stole an idea from YouTube and created a 1-minute video platform, which they called Reels, they could reach out and grab more creators and bring more people who are interested in those creators to their platform. And again, they used the same format they used at Facebook, meaning a feed. So you go to the top of your feed and you just scroll down and you stop when you see something that you like. And they then sell advertising within that feed. What do they give to their creators? Well, I have 138,000 followers on Instagram Reels, and I have a video that I have over 2.3 million impressions on. Okay, and what did they pay me for the 3.2 million impressions? Absolutely nothing. On the other hand, if I had 2.3 million views on YouTube, I would have received a check for somewhere around $100,000. But on Facebook, I got absolutely nothing. This is where I think the flaw is in their business plan. They use the creator. On Facebook, it's you and me. On Instagram, it's Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, and me. And if we have a product to sell, as Taylor does, as Lady Gaga does, it's a win. In fact, you'll see Lady Gaga puts makeup on, and she holds the bottle of the makeup in front of her. And so she has a contract probably with that makeup company. But nonetheless, Facebook gives her absolutely nothing. And I think this is the flaw in Facebook's, in Instagram's plan. Now, what they are, and if you listen to the call, what they're banking on is that Instagram and Facebook gets them to the metaverse, and that's 5 years off. But they openly admit that they're getting a lot of competition. And from my point of view, I am getting feed from my YouTube channel, where I have 170,000 subscribers, that we're going to find more ways for you, Carrie, to make money on YouTube. They are encouraging me to make shorts. Shorts are 1-minute videos. Over on Instagram, Reels are 1-minute videos. YouTube's willing to pay me as a creator. Facebook is not. Facebook merely sells advertising around my creation, my content creation. I believe this is their failing. And when they were asked by Brent Thill, I think he was with J.P. Morgan last night, about how do they feel that they're going to continue to generate content on their platforms in the future, both Dave Warner and Mark Zuckerberg blew it off. They basically said that's not a worry, it's not a consideration, it would be a cost we aren't willing to take on. So what in essence are they saying? Thank you very much, Carrie. Thank you very much, Lady Gaga. Thank you very much, Taylor Swift, for making our business possible, but we're not going to share the revenues with you. I think this is failure. I can only think of one place, one business that is more selfish and self-centered than Facebook, and that is college football. That is where they take young men and put them on the field, and they sell the average ticket for $500 and fill the stadium with over 100,000 people, and then broadcast the game on national TV and collect tremendous revenues, and they pay the contributors absolutely nothing. And then they ask them to risk their lives. That is a flawed business plan. And sooner or later, the players are going to wake up. They are going to unite and say, screw you. We're not going to show up this Saturday. And watch what happens. When the two teams, the two groups of players are scheduled to play. Alabama's scheduled to play Georgia. And the players say no. Well, that's exactly what I think is going to happen to Facebook. That you and I are not going to be willing. We're already not willing. I am in a mode where I don't go to Facebook as much as I did last year. I am in a mode where I am eliminating followers as opposed to adding friends and family. I am in a mode where I don't know most of the people who are on my Facebook feed, and I resent the ads that they're putting in front of me. As a contributor with 138,000 viewers, followers on Instagram, I am questioning as to, is this a fair deal? And I am anxiously awaiting for either TikTok or YouTube to offer me a better deal. Someone will. And at that point, you will see a mass exodus from Facebook, Instagram, and I think it will happen before Facebook can get to metaverse. Okay? And they're spending a buttload of money. They looking at the numbers. Their revenue was $27.7 billion for the quarter, down 4%. Their expenses were $22.1 billion, up 19%. They're spending their research and development, and that's all money trying to go towards metaverse, is up 45%. And then they are dealing with what they call ATT. What's ATT? App Tracking Transparency. This is what caused the big drop several months ago. This was when Apple said, when they click on that ad on your Facebook and they're using an iPhone or an Apple desktop, Facebook loses track of them. And the value of their company tanked. So now what they're trying to do is redirect you to their family of apps. And this is their Messenger and their WhatsApp and their other communication devices. In essence, what they are going to do is if you click on that ad, they are going to put you into what they call a ad click chat, so that now the advertiser can, with a bot, take your order, and they get around the app that was being controlled by Apple. That's their game, and you've got to be sold on it. My problem is I don't think they're going to get to that far, because I think YouTube is going to offer me a better proposition, and maybe even TikTok, and they're going to cut out Facebook. Okay, let me take you to the computer so that you can get access to this call and you can be the judge for yourself. Is this something you want to be involved in? So let's go to the computer. Okay, this is how you get to the conference call. You go into your Seeking Alpha, and then you scroll down and you look for this icon that looks like lines with a music chart. And it says Meta Platforms third quarter 2022 call. And you click on that, and that takes you to the call. And then you merely click on play call, and you will hear a voice come and start to tell you about the Meta conference.
My name is Martin, and I will be your conference operator today. At this time,
that's Martin.
Welcome everyone.
And you can see that it tells you who's the participants are and what the whole thing is all about. This is something that I think is essential. If you really want to understand how a company works, this is a must, because it gives you not only from reading it, but it gives you the inflection of their voices. And you will see, particularly as it gets to the end of this call, where the analysts get to ask questions, where they get off script and they've got to talk from their heart. And you will hear the fear. You will hear the fear that we hope we can get where we need to be. And what really hurt me was the last comment, where they basically say, we don't have to pay for content, and it's not in our equation. That's college football. I think it's evident I have some personal feelings about this. I'm at a point in my life where I believe in sharing, and I believe in treating people fairly and building relationships that work for everybody involved, where one person doesn't take advantage of another person. And I believe Mark Zuckerberg is taking advantage of his audience. He is a billionaire. He lost a buttload of money this week, but he is a billionaire, and I think he's selfish, and he needs to change his ways. I hope he does. Mark, I hope you make a good decision, and you reward the people who are giving you the content to make you a billionaire, to make your friends and family rich. What you're doing right now is not any more fair than what college football is doing to these young men. So I'm going to climb off my soapbox, and I'll be back and talk to you again tomorrow.